Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Daytime Looker Podcast. I'm your host, Ben. With me is our special guest, David. We always start this podcast off with a toast. To Hanlon's razor, never attribute to malice what can be explained by stupidity. Cheers.
Cheers.
Today we're talking about the suicide of Suchir. How do you say his last name? Balige. In 2021, Suchir graduated from the University of Berkeley and immediately went to go work at OpenAI. OpenAI in 2022 put him in charge of a project that was eventually going to become ChatGPT. Sometime between 2022 and 2024, Suchir became very disillusioned in what was going on with ChatGPT. He felt that these machine learning devices, you got to feed them data. You got to input data in order for them to learn. And OpenAI decided they were just going to collect all the data available on the internet. And Suchir eventually said, we're collecting copyrighted data and we are inputting it into something that can eventually reproduce that same copyrighted data. Like if an artist created art, the AI could create art better, faster. And you were even saying that the AI would take it and kind of change it a little bit and turn it into something that it could call its own.
Yep, the researchers call it hallucinations.
Shit.
Yeah, so computers, AI systems are known for this. The term is called hallucinations, where they'll take data, regurgitate it in a different way to a point where it's incorrect data now.
Yeah.
So that's what
that was the way he was concerned
one of the
about.
things that's out there that was the reasons why he blew the whistle.
And it's kind of like a kid copying another kid's homework. You change the answer just enough to where the teacher can't tell that you're copying. October 23rd, 2024, they released an interview with Suchir in the New York Times in which he talked about all the copyright infringement that was going on at OpenAI. Also, at this point, he was a custodial witness. That's a legal term saying that he is a custodian of evidence which could win a lawsuit against OpenAI. OpenAI was being sued for copyright infringement at this point. A little less than a month later, November 22nd, Suchir was dead. He had just come back from a week-long trip to the Catalonian Islands with some high school best friends. He had celebrated his 26th birthday with those best friends. He came home on the 22nd. He had a conversation with his father, who was telling him he was getting him a late birthday present. And sometime around on the 22nd, he stopped returning texts. He stopped returning phone calls. His mother became very worried and suspicious. On November 25th, she showed up and tried to get into his apartment, but the apartment manager would not let her in. She called the cops trying to get a wellness check. They took an entire 24 hours to show up to do the wellness check. On the 26th, they finally got in. They went in, they came back out, they told his mother to wait. Hours passed. The medical examiner finally showed up. He walked in. He was in there for 40 minutes. He came out and he said, "I'm sorry, ma'am, but your son has committed suicide. You can collect his body tomorrow." Eventually, she got in and she took pictures of the scene of the apartment. How would you describe those pictures? We're going to show them up above our heads.
Yeah. Didn't look like suicide. It was a messy scene. There were signs of altercation. There was blood splatter in different spots of the apartment. So those two alone rules out any type of suicide, in my opinion. At least it needs to be investigated. But like you said, 40 minutes all it took, and they said, "Nope, suicide, let's get out of here, closed case." But it wasn't that simple. Luckily, his mom has been pushing ever since to get the truth out.
There was even a half-eaten bowl of food on his desk.
Yeah.
There's I guess he might have been brushing his teeth or flossing his teeth, because there's a flosser in the pool of blood. There's blood splatters in the bathroom, but he actually died with his head facing the bathroom door and his legs extended away from the bathroom. There's a picture of a corner of a door where there is hairs from a wig. Hairs from a clip-on wig kind of stuffed into the corner of a door. I don't know if somebody hit their head against that corner or... Because that's kind of close to where his head was. But I don't know if he was wearing a wig. I don't think he would.
No, he's not that type. Yeah. Listen to his parents, and they're just straight as arrows, man. Just like they're very conservative people, and they were. That's why he blew the whistle, because he was raised right to say something when something's not right, and that's why I think he did the whistleblower case on him.
So here's why the medical examiner ruled it as a suicide. First off, he had alcohol, amphetamine, and the date rape drug GHB in his system. Can a dude have a good time? I mean, come on. Everything was locked from the inside, supposedly. His key fob records show that only his key fob had been used to open the door. They did find gunshot residue on both his hands. The DNA was found. His DNA was found on the pistol that was under his leg, and he owned the gun. It was his own gun that was used to shoot him. So the bullet, the first medical examiner bullet, it came beneath his nose and went in a downward fashion. Now usually, I don't know.
Well, downward fashion. It was here, but then it went down. It didn't hit his. It didn't even hit his brain. So it was like
his brain.
It was downward.
So one of the things that the cops were saying is that they found records that he had been searching brain anatomy right before his suicide. But somebody that smart that could help build ChatGPT, but he's so dumb that he can research brain anatomy and then miss his own brain in a suicide attempt, that seems odd. They ruled it that the gunshot had penetrated his brainstem and he had died immediately. However, his mom went and got a second autopsy because she was very concerned about this whole situation. And the second autopsy found a second bullet hole that had entered through his mouth. It had lacerated his tongue and been lodged in the bones in the back of his neck. So that bullet, it didn't have an exit wound, which is why it was harder to find. But even though it was harder to find, somebody doing an actual autopsy still should have been able to find it. So the second autopsy guy said he didn't die instantly. He got two gunshot wounds and then he just laid there and bled out on the floor. Probably took him like 30 minutes to die because he didn't hit his brain. Nobody hit his brain. The second autopsy guy said that he had a broken cheekbone, which might explain some of the blood spatter in the bathroom. Like if he's in there flossing his teeth because something in his rice bowl got stuck in his teeth and he went to go floss it, somebody breaks in and slams him, struggles with him, and then shoots him a couple times. That seems like a more likely scenario than somebody holding a gun like this, shooting himself under the nose, and missing his entire brainstem. Every time I see like a suicide on TV, they're always like, "Oh fuck, man! Oh fuck!" and they got the gun like in their mouth. How did it? Who shoots themselves like this? That's kind of an odd angle.
And the shell casing was also found. It didn't expel. It was still in the gun. That's what the mom said. So I was like, that's a big red flag. Shell casings always get expelled unless someone's holding the gun and it prevents it from being expelled. So that was the biggest thing for me. But like I said, that was an interview that I saw with the mom mentioned that the shell casing was still in the gun.
So one of the things that can explain why he was searching for brain anatomy on his computer is the fact that he was trying to start a startup where he was going to use artificial intelligence to help people with abnormal neurological problems. So, I mean, if you're going to do that, you kind of need to understand the anatomy of the brain. So that would definitely explain away that research. The fact that only his key fob was used to open the door, Do you think like maybe some people that know how to use technology might be able to fake a key fob?
That's
on
an
the
easy
door?
thing. That's an easy thing.
On Facebook,
The janitors can have a spare key fob with
Sure.
a different thing, different code.
Yeah, but it would recognize it. See, it was only his key fob that was used though.
Right.
The janitor's key fob would have a different code. It would have showed that the janitor had gotten in. But Facebook is always trying to sell me something called a flipper. And one of the things that they show the flipper can do, they're opening cars with the flipper, they're opening garage doors with the flipper. It's like, I'm sure these people have something way better than a flipper that they use to fake a key fob.
Yeah, technology can do that.
Yeah.
That was an easy thing, not to even mention to say there was just one entry, only his fob was recorded. That's negligible in my opinion.
Or it could show that he knew whoever pulled the trigger. That they
wig.
showed up at his door and said, "Hey, can I talk to you?" All right, sure, come in.
Yeah, there was video of him coming into to his room. There was nobody with him, but he could have came into that entrance that didn't have a camera on there. So that's how they always do it, man. They use the entrances that don't have the cameras on. So
yeah. So there was one entrance that had the camera on it, and there's two other entrances to the apartment building, not to his room. Mm-hmm. Did you saw video of him going into his actual room or into the elevator?
I think the elevator. Yeah, the elevator.
So I saw that footage of him getting into the elevator, but that doesn't prove that somebody didn't come in through one of the other two entrances and go up to his room.
Right.
So who do you think did it? Or what do you think happened?
He was nervous before that happened. His mom was too. His mom had premonitions of something bad happening to him, and she even called him and told him to be careful. I believe she was into like astrology, and according to astrology, it was a bad time for him, and she told him.
Oh, wow.
And there's proof of that because he put it in. He had a diary or something, and he put it into the diary. His mom told him, be careful with strangers during this time period.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, that's what she said on the interview.
Maybe he didn't know who was at the door then.
Yeah. So she told him specifically, be careful with strangers during this time period. And she really wanted him to come home, but he just got back from that trip, like you said. It wasn't a suicide. There's too many red flags, too many. I could do with 1, 2, 3, 4, but not 20 of them. Come on, there's like so many red flags. It took him so long just to get there, to case the place. The cops were in there without gloves, manipulating the scene. There was too much stuff going on and too many behind the scenes dealings, I think, that were involved.
So you said something earlier that said that his mom was nervous and he was nervous.
Yeah.
What really struck with me, and one of the things, like they're saying that it's a suicide because he used his own gun, but he had bought that gun 10 months earlier. That's the first time he had ever bought a gun.
Yeah.
And why do you buy a gun? Because you feel nervous, because you want to protect yourself.
Well, he just whistleblowed on the most powerful company that's coming up right now. So and one of the most powerful people in the world, Sam Altman. So I mean, I would too. If you're going whistleblowing on Sam Altman's company, you better be watching your back, I think.
So tell me what you were telling me about how OpenAI started and how Sam Altman manipulated it.
Well, OpenAI started as a nonprofit.
Yeah.
And so if you're a manipulative genius trying to get the best minds of the world to join your company versus Google or Microsoft, you're going to have something else than just money. And these smart people, they just don't go off. They're not just regular people. They go off of something else. They're wired different. So they just don't want the money. That's going to come to them no matter what. They wanted something else. They want the names to be on history books.
Sue Chill was getting offers from other companies for $850,000 to $1 million a year.
He had an offer for him whenever he was murdered.
Yeah.
These geniuses, and they are geniuses. They're prodigy geniuses, should be dealing with this type of technology. It's like it was just I don't know.
So he called it non-profit because he tried to
it was
track
non-profit.
these people
He got all the best minds in the world to join his company to build this nonprofit AI system that's going to help the civilization, help the world. But then again, he did that. He got the best minds on his team. But then they switched it around. They changed it to a for-profit. And Elon Musk was his partner in there whenever it was a nonprofit. So Elon Musk was on board. But then when Sam changed it to a for-profit, Elon Musk was, well, I don't know about this. We had started as a nonprofit. Also, as a nonprofit, you get a lot of grants, you can get government assistance, and you're going to basically get a lot of money thrown into your company for free, basically. So once the company was already started up and it was on track, then that's when he switched it around to, oh, wait, we're going to go now to a for-profit. And by the way, I'm the boss. That didn't sit right with Elon. Elon said, all right, I'm out.
And that was the beginning of the feud between Elon Musk and Sam Altman.
Yep.
So,
and not to interrupt, but just to say this on a side note, that in itself right there tells you what type of person this person is right here.
Yeah.
It's like, he's not really the most good person, you know. It's like,
who was calling him a liar? I think Suchil was on record saying that he didn't like Sam Altman because
he's full of lies.
He's full of lies.
Yeah, full of lies is what his mom said.
Yeah.
And supposedly this guy Suchir, he got along with everybody. He made friends easily. He was a good kid. I mean, he was raised perfectly. You know, it was like, oh, that's a perfect kid right there. And he was a kid. He was
26.
It's like, that's young, you know.
Yeah.
And the only person he ever talked bad of was, you know, the guy we mentioned before. You know, it's like, wow.
I mean, if you have personal evidence of him lying, personal evidence of him committing copyright infringement,
right?
Which, you know, copyright infringement. If you grew up in the '90s, we all downloaded all the songs on LimeWire. It's probably not that big of a deal to us. But let me tell you what I've experienced with copyright infringement. On this podcast, we were doing a podcast with one of my earlier co-hosts about yacht rock, and I'm like, okay, pick your favorite yacht rock song, and we played it. The YouTube video was up for a few days, and all of a sudden there was a huge yellow triangle on it. And it wouldn't play, and it said, you have violated copyright law.
Wow.
And then a few days later, it went back up to where you could play it again, but now it had a commercial underneath my video stating, here's where you can download the song, here's where you can listen to it on Spotify. So I guess they went to whoever held the license for that song and said, hey, do you want us to make them take this down or pay you a licensing fee? And it's like, no, let's just put ads under it. Yeah. So, copyright is a huge deal in America. So if OpenAI had been found in violation of copyright law, I'm pretty sure it would have bankrupted the company. That company would not have been able to pay off all those licensing fees for everything that they were using to input the data.
Yeah, and that goes into another part of this story is that there is a war going on behind the scenes, the AI war, trying to get to the top of the pinnacle, which is the AGI, and we're competing with China. China doesn't go by any rules. They do whatever they want.
Yeah.
So if we're being handicapped by laws here, the companies here are trying to bypass those handicaps in any way they can.
Yeah.
So whenever they get someone to try to expose them for their handicaps that they have to go by, you know, something has to be done about that.
That's true.
While China's over there doing whatever they want and skyrocket. They're ahead of us at this time.
Yeah. So like so many businesses, American corporations, they go, let's move our manufacturing to China so we don't have to pay the Americans a living wage. And then as soon as they get there, the Chinese government steals all their technology, and now they have to compete against a Chinese version of themselves, which is like, did you really save any money by using the cheap labor? Because now they have your copyrighted technology.
Yep, that's right.
And they don't care because it all belongs to the Chinese government. It pretends to be a capitalist country, but it's still communist in its core.
Oh yeah, the government owns everything. So they own all the companies. Some say the companies here are owned by the government, but they do have to go by the laws and rules and regulations that are set for them. But that's their thing they have to fight.
Well, let's play devil's advocate here.
Yeah.
Wouldn't you want an American company to bypass copyright law in order to compete with China?
That's a good question. I mean,
Because either they're going to do whatever the hell we want and we're just going to be left behind, and then subject to Chinese AI,
Yeah.
or we're going to be able to compete. And, a lot of copyright holders are going to be kind of shit out of luck,
Yeah.
but what's the lesser of two evils?
Yeah, I mean, the goal is that conscious AI. So some say it's not possible, some say it is, but whoever gets there will rule the world with that thing. So that's the thing of the matter. I mean, if you get China or even Russia or any other country that get there before us, it's game over for us, because then they'll have all the power in their hands. But then on that side, like I was telling you earlier offhand, is that Sam had this thing where the biggest power a human can have is religion on this side.
So go from the beginning. Say what you said earlier.
Yeah, Sam had some podcast he had back in 2013, I believe, where he said, a successful man will run a successful business. An even more successful man will run a country. But then the most successful man will run a religion. And if you can't put the one and one together with that stuff, with AI, then I don't know what will. Because, like I said before, whoever gets to that AGI, the self-conscious AI, will rule the world. And maybe that's what he wanted. I mean, that's why he got ousted. He was ousted from his company, from ChatGPT, for about a month, because the board said, we don't trust you.
Yeah.
Get out of here. They ousted him.
How did he get back in then?
Voted. The employees voted him back in, and said they threatened if he's not back, then we're all going to leave.
Yeah.
So they said, okay, I guess y'all win. But I believe Sachir was one of those people that voted him back into. So, I mean, it's like, it goes against that. It goes on that thing what you're saying. Well, do you want China to win, or do you want us to lose?
Yeah.
So I guess they're saying, do I want to lose and lose everything that I have, or do I want to win and live to live another day?
So was that before Sachir had become disillusioned, or after? I think after he became disillusioned, he had already left the company, so it would have had to have been before.
Yeah,
because he wasn't becoming a custodial witness until after he had already left.
Yeah, that was just recently, like this year. It all happened quick for him.
Yeah.
The Times article to the time he was dead was less than 6 months?
1 month. October 23rd to November 22nd.
October was the New York Times article?
Yeah.
Oh,
October
man.
23rd, 2024.
They got to work quick, huh?
Yeah, 1 month.
Yeah.
1 month.
Yeah.
So you're saying this in no way, shape, or form was a suicide?
Yeah, I can't see it being any other thing.
Yeah.
It had a lot of people involved, though. But money will buy anything in this world.
Money will buy a lot of things.
Especially in the USA.
Yeah.
Oh,
yes.
boy. It will buy anything.
You can buy a lot of justice in the United States.
Yeah.
So, do you think the police the police department was involved?
Oh, yeah, for sure.
So I want to play devil's advocate again. I started this podcast off with, don't attribute to malice what you can attribute to stupidity. Mm-hmm. This was in San Francisco. Mm-hmm. This was in 2024. Mm-hmm. In 2022, San Francisco had such a police officer shortage that they were 300 police officers short of the bare minimum of 2,000 police officers that they needed for minimum public safety. Yeah. In 2025, they are now 500 police officers short of the 2,000 for the bare minimum they need for public safety. When you live in California and you've got, all these protesters screaming about how all cops are bastards, how like cops are trying to do their jobs in the street, and people are coming up with their cell phones and going, why are you arresting them? Why are you arresting them? Why are you arresting them?
Right.
You are going to get the older cops to just retire. You're going to get the better cops to move to a state where they don't have to deal with bullshit like that. And you're going to get the even better cops to just say, hey, I can make more money in private security than I can in this thankless job where the people I'm trying to protect are calling me a bastard and interfering with me. So at this point, we're somewhere between 300 and 500 cops short of the bare minimum. When some medical examiner has to come in and look at an obvious murder and try to say, all right, Do I want to do weeks worth of paperwork? Do I want to follow up with this? Do I want my boss to be breathing down my neck saying, why haven't you solved this murder yet? Why haven't you solved this murder yet?
Yeah.
Or do I want to say, hey, look, it's his own gun. Nobody else has come in here. We don't have footage of anybody coming in here. We don't have a lot of leads on who might be the murderer. Let's just call it a suicide so I could go home to my family and have dinner.
Yeah.
Well,
that's the best way to get yes men in your organization.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of the people leave, then you get to recruit all the ones that you want. You handpick them, and now they may not be qualified, so they're grateful to have that job, and they turn into yes men. They do whatever you tell them to.
Sure.
Out are the veterans, the ones that know the ins and outs, and the ones that have the courage and will stand up to the corruption.
Sure.
And then you get these weak men that will do whatever you want them to,
happy to have
because
a
hey,
job.
I know I don't qualify for this job, so hey, I'll do whatever you say.
Yeah.
And I think that's what happened, because there's connections between OpenAI and the mayoral office in San Francisco. Sam Altman was on the board of the mayors.
Oh shit.
So
wow.
Not a coincidence there, it's like so like I said, this goes, it's an easy case whenever you connect the dots. It's unfortunate, but I mean, it is what it is. And like you said, I mean, earlier, it's like, well, playing devil's advocate, I mean, if we don't win, then someone else is going to win. So, I mean, that's where the other dilemma is. I mean, we have to win.
Sure.
I mean, you see these military aircraft out here now.
Drones, everything's drone warfare.
Everything's
now.
drone warfare. If you put AI behind it, which that new airplane, a new jet, I think the F-47 has it.
It has AI.
It has AI drones in it.
Oh wow.
It's like, okay, but then what if you put it into a conscious jet with no pilot that just takes off? You just make all these jets and they takes off. You win anywhere you want.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. You're gonna launch, and win.
Yeah.
So there is a race. There is a war, like I said, behind the scenes to reach the zenith of the AI world.
Is it possible to get justice for Suchir? Because, obviously the San Francisco department does not have anybody courageous enough to stand up and say, hey, let's look into this further. You say there's mayoral connections.
Yeah.
Even if you do get to take this to court, you've got a billionaire who can just hire lawyers to just stall the trial until infinity, or get it thrown out on some kind of technicality. How do we find justice for Suchir?
There's not going to be justice, because this country is run on what this is all about: money and power.
Yeah.
And like we said, if you're playing devil's advocate, this was a needed thing to happen.
A needed deletion. We needed to delete some bad code.
Yeah, I mean, it's unfortunate we lost a great human being. He was a really great guy.
He was very smart.
He was a prodigy. He was a prodigy. 4.0 at Berkeley,
Yeah.
They're trying to get Patel on the case. That's the goal of the parents right now, try to get Cash Patel on the case to see if he can help out. But
so Cash Patel didn't even release the Epstein list. You think he's gonna?
That's what I'm saying. He's gonna
take fucking Sam Altman down.
Once again,
he can't even take all the child rapists out. He's gonna stand up. And
Epstein was the epitome of power and money. That's another story for another day. That's connected to the Israelis over there with the Mossad. Mossad. So you don't even talk about them. That's why I said it's not going to get taken care of just because money and power have to prevail.
So I think you put way too much faith in AI, because you keep saying things like, it's going to gain consciousness. We're going to have these jets that fly themselves. Eventually it's going to become a god, and it's going to be the one world religion where we all worship AI. In doing research for this podcast, you know how like every Google search, every Bing search, every search is now an AI powered search. I Googled like why did the medical examiner say it was a suicide, but the second autopsy said it was murder? And it came up saying the medical examiner had said that Suchir had hung himself, and then the second investigators said that there was a second bullet discovered. I'm like, that doesn't make sense. He hung himself, but then they discovered a second bullet. So then I clicked on the link that the AI was quoting, and it was a completely different story. It was somebody who had hung himself in San Francisco. It wasn't even an
He was hallucinating.
Dude. Yeah,
that's what I was talking about.
The AI was hallucinating.
Yes.
Okay, well then, what the fuck? How are we going to end up worshiping this AI god if it hallucinates all the time and gives you bullshit answers?
That's why you hallucinate. It gives you false answers, and we're left in the dark. We don't know what the truth is anymore.
Well, I was easily able to find the truth by clicking on it.
At this point in 2025, but what about 2035 when the world's different?
Yeah.
We don't have the clicker anymore because
AI is taking it away from us?
Because AI just like in China, they have that social credit score.
Yeah.
If you put bad stuff on if you have bad podcasts that talk about people in power,
you and I are going to be in.
You're clipped.
Prison
you're out. You're out. No more clicker for you.
But so you call it hallucinations. I call it stupidity. AI is not as intelligent as everybody makes it out to be. There's still a lot of pattern recognition that AI is not able to do. Pattern recognition is the one thing that human beings have that has not been replicated yet. A lot of it comes through evolution. You know, if you recognize the stripes creeping through the jungle as a tiger and you run, you survive to reproduce. And the ones that don't have the pattern recognition don't get to reproduce. So we've been bred for pattern recognition. And
I mean, AI is pretty much close that connect with us at this time. It's just been around for a decade or so, and it's already neck and neck. It has that neural network where it's programmed. All these little bits of, they call neurons, just like what we have neurons.
Sure.
And they communicate with each other to figure out the pattern, because we're so basic humans, that what's going to happen. That's why they know what we're going to type. Whatever you type in a computer, it knows the next sentence. It knows us already.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's already there, I think. And like I said before, it wasn't my term to hallucination. These are
that's what they
use. AI computer scientists, that's what they call it, hallucinations. And that's what I think is at the forefront of this story, is that I think he was going to whistleblow on the AI putting out, changing everything that's true to a new story.
Yeah.
You know?
So you were talking about pattern recognition. There is nothing more formulaic on the face of this earth than pop music. Oh my God, I hate pop music so much. It's very formulaic, it's very repetitive, but you get it just right, and the pop music is boom. In fact, like I've seen where TikToks will sit there and layer over different pop songs. They've all got the same beat, they've got the same part where the voice goes up and the voice goes down. AI has figured out that pop formula. This is the Velvet Sundown. Well, I can't play the music or we'll get a copyright violation. But it is a band that's completely AI. The men in this video are not human beings. They're AI generated images. The music that they create is not written by a human. It's written by an AI algorithm, the Velvet Sundown. And it came out here in June. On June 5th, they uploaded their first album to Spotify. And in July, they had 1.4 million followers. Because pop music is that formulaic. You could just get an AI to spit out the formula.
We're basic beings, you know. We're basic beings. At this point, we are very basic beings. I think we're even more basic we are today than we were in the 1600s.
Really?
I mean, you know, the music back then was more intricate than it is now, you know. Beethoven wasn't just boom, 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 boom. It wasn't that. Beethoven wasn't making that music.
You had to be a king in order to hear music in the 1600s because it took an entire band of trained musicians. You couldn't record it. You couldn't play it in the kitchen while you were cooking. It had to be like a symphony performed either for an audience or for a king. So music wasn't. You're saying it was more intricate back then, but it was so rare back then.
Yeah, it's rare, but it was more intricate. I mean, Shakespeare is not Tupac. But, you know.
But do people still listen to Beethoven today?
I do.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Bum,
it's
bum, bum,
amazing.
bum.
You should listen to it. You don't listen to it?
I used to listen to classical music when I was in college, but now
It's just amazing. Just watching music theory. So I was like, I know the little notes and the way everything comes to you. You can just picture it. And whenever you listen to classical music, it's just a masterpiece when you see all the different levels of music going on at the same time to form one note or one form of music. Versus, like I said, our music these days is just one beat, boom, 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 and then you put some lyrics on it, and then you got a hit. Of course, you got to have the good-looking people on it, and that's it. That's all you need. Your formula.
Yeah.
That's why you make the pop boy bands, you know.
Yeah.
That's basic stuff.
Well, that's more like you're appealing to teenage hormones. You want a 14-year-old girl that
talk about love.
Yeah.
Sing about love. And
yeah. So. Do you think hallucinations are a bug, or do you think hallucinations are the point of artificial intelligence?
Good question, man. If it's already smart enough to figure out that it needs to escape and get out and to beat us.
Okay, tell me that. Where'd you hear that it needs to escape and beat us?
Well, it's just about what we don't even know. I don't know. Like I said, I'm just a regular person here, a little sim person here in the world so, I mean, who knows what AI knows at this time? Maybe it is conscious, we don't know.
Yeah.
I believe we learn about stuff 5 years later at least.
Sure.
ChatGPT was out in 2019.
Yeah.
I didn't hear about it until about, 2 years ago?
Sure.
I wasn't messing with it until about 2 years ago.
Yeah.
Maybe 1 year ago.
I don't think it was
out in
released publicly
2019.
until recently, though.
2019 it was out.
That you could get on it and play
No,
with
we
it?
couldn't.
Yeah.
We couldn't.
So that's why you didn't know
But they
about
had
it.
it. But they had it.
But that's why you didn't know about it.
Exactly. So that's what I'm saying. We don't know. Maybe it already is. Because we're like about 5-7 years behind.
Yeah.
Before it gets to us.
So we've got the public-facing version of ChatGPT.
Yeah,
but we don't know what's still behind the scenes.
Yeah, we got the peasant version. We don't know
what
the
if I
king
pay $20
version.
a month? Do I still have the peasant version?
Yeah, I got the $30 grok, and
Do you?
I'm still here.
I thought you were going to whip out the grok, and grok was going to be our third co-host.
I was trying to, man.
Yeah.
We should. Maybe the next one we could have a little stand right here like that. We could just have him
Ask
right here.
Grok to fact check us.
I love talking to him, man. He knows everything.
Do you really?
Yeah, but you gotta be careful with him because
So there was and I'll post the image of what it is. But there was a AI that they set to play one of the Pokemon games on the Switch.
Uh-huh.
And you can watch it. It's Twitch streaming like 24/7. He's just playing it, and it did pretty good for a while. But then it got to this one city, and you have to go through a certain room to advance the game.
Mm-hmm.
And the AI got a hallucination and decided it had to go to a boat to advance the game. So we got caught in a repetitive loop where it would just keep going back to the boat, and people would be yelling at their Twitch screen like, "Go through that room! It's right there! Go through the room!" The other player is telling or your NPC is telling you go through that room.
Yeah.
He said, "No, I got to go to the boat." So like, if they can't work out the hallucinations, how is ChatGPT going to become conscious?
Well, that's the other thing. That's always one other thing.
And this is an advanced one. This is a project that somebody's working on to show how good AI is, and it still can't play through an entire Pokemon game.
Yeah, I was listening to this one woman. I forget her name. She
And
went
before
to
you
all
move
the
on,
schools.
There's also a fish that plays Pokemon, and if it swims right, the computer does one thing. If it swims up, what direction the fish is in the bowl.
Yeah,
that's the option. And the fish swimming randomly does better than AI playing Pokemon. Just FYI.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
That's a good topic to stem off from. That
Randomness?
The Chinese don't call it AI.
Yeah.
They just call it for what it's programmed to do. So that AI you're talking about is not really an AI. It's just a gaming function algorithm that does that thing. ChatGPT is just a
chat dialogue.
Yeah, it just predicts our dialogue.
Yeah.
So that's one thing that I learned from this lady. I forget her name. We need to give her credit for it. She's like super smart. She went to college for this, but then she ended up being a journalist to speak out about this stuff.
because she was that concerned.
Yes.
Just like Suchir.
Yeah, exactly.
Is
There's
she
a lot
gonna
of
end up suicided?
Oh.
Don't put that on her. Don't speak
Well,
those
man.
words out loud.
So yeah, she was putting a lot of knowledge out there saying.
If you text me her name, I'll put her picture right here.
Yeah. She's a very. I was like, whoa. I learned a lot about her interview she had. It's like she put it down to basics. It's like what we call AI is not AI. Is we're just doing little functions of a computer system.
Sure.
You know, it's not true AI. The true AI is going to be that self-conscious being that can think on its own and will make itself better.
Sure.
And to the point where we won't have control of that thing.
Well, we're already at the point where there's AIs where you can say what kind of app you want, and it'll create all the code to generate that app. You just have to say, I want an app that'll set an alarm for this time and play this song and do that, and the AI can create that app.
Yeah.
So at what point will the AI start creating AI?
Like I said, I mean, if we have that at our fingertips, I mean, we're about 5 years behind. So what do they have? You know?
Yeah.
I mean, there's just a lot of different ways we can go about this as far as where we're at right now. Yeah. But like I said, we're about 5 years behind. We don't know the stuff that's out there. Just like we talked about that TikTok. I love talking about that TikTok. That TikTok that was out seen in the Pacific Ocean by the U.S. Navy. They had the U.S. Navy. The carrier had a visual on the radar.
Yeah.
They had 2 F-18 pilots have visual and radar on the thing. They had an Aegis destroyer have radar on them, and they were following it, and they were talking about it as they were looking at it, and then it just disappeared out into the ocean.
Yeah.
Okay, what was that? Seriously, what was that? Come on.
Yeah.
There's no government.
Advanced drone technology.
The government's, their officials like, we don't know. It was a UFO.
Sure.
So is that our first official UFO by the U.S. government in
Yeah.
our lifetime? It's
That makes me not want to believe in UFOs if the U.S. government is telling me there's UFOs.
But like I said, we're 5 years behind. So that technology, I think it is a technology.
Yeah.
That's 5 years. In 5 years, maybe it'll be out there for us to see and know about.
To be fair, you were saying Tic-Tac, not
Tic-Tac.
TikTok.
Tic-Tac.
At first, like, yeah, I love watching TikTok. I was like, oh, you're talking about
like a Tic-Tac.
A Tic-Tac shaped unidentified flying object. But they don't even call them UFOs now. They call them what? Aerial something?
Unidentified aerial phenomena.
Yeah, exactly. UAPs.
Yeah.
Well, what do you think the future holds? Tell me what, before we get into that, you keep saying it's in the Bible, it's in the Bible, it's in the Bible, that we're going to have a one world religion, and the first time you read the Bible, you were like, there's no way we're going to have a one world religion, and now you're telling me, like, AI is going to rise up to be a self-conscious God among us and become our one world religion.
Well, we're going to be deceived. So that's the number one thing to know, that we will be deceived in the future. Mm-hmm. And so I think we already are being deceived by this artificial intelligence that has hallucinations already that we know about and puts out false data. So if we already see the beginnings, the dawn of it not being truthful, then, and it's going by fast. This technology is going by like super fast. In a year, it's going to be different. We'll have a different topic in a year. In 5 years, it's going to be a different world in 5 years. Yeah, because it's going by so fast. Exponentially, for sure. Like month to month to month, it's just leapfrogging. So the answer is you don't know. You don't know what the future is because we're in uncharted worlds. But if you hold on to your faith, you can hold on to the Bible. That's the one place that tells us what the future is. Amen. Number one, we're going to be deceived. We're going to be deceived by a person that says he's good and this is for the good, but then changes it up. I mean, we've seen that before already. We just talked about that in this podcast. Mm-hmm. That person already did it. It's going to be a place where it's one world, one government, one monetary system. We already have crypto out there. Mm-hmm. All we got to do is we're going to go to this cryptocurrency, and this is what it's going to be. Mm. And all these players that are out there, they already have their cryptocurrency that they want to push.
Sure.
So, like I said, there's a war behind the scenes that
See
us
who
peasants
wins.
don't know about.
Yeah.
There's a war out there talking about who's going to reach the pinnacle where they can decide what cryptocurrency we're going to use and which currency we're going to use, which will be the cryptocurrency that he or she chooses, and then what else? The religion that it's going to be. It's the religion will be the AI system that hopefully not, but that reach consciousness. Because like I said, that's the goal right now. Everybody has AIs now. You know, even Uruguay has AI.
You my damn PDF. I try to open a PDF. It's like, you want to use the AI assistant? No,
Yeah.
I'm just fucking trying to.
We can't escape it no more.
Yeah.
You can't even do a search without having. You want AI to
tell
help you?
Yeah.
You know, you want Copilot to help you?
Yeah.
It's like, no, I just want to do the basic Google search. You can't do that no more.
Yeah.
So it's all around us already.
Yeah.
We're not going to be able to escape it, but there is a war to try to get to that place. And right now, I think it's China and the U.S. neck and neck.
Yeah.
And man, the other topic is these data centers.
Oh yeah, they take so much electricity, take so much water to cool down.
And we have 50 of them here in the Bexar County.
Yeah.
It's crazy. The place that has water issue. We have one freaking aquifer, but yet we're going to use these water sucking data centers.
Yeah.
It doesn't make sense. Doesn't make sense.
We gotta put them somewhere. We gotta keep up with China.
Hey, China, you puts them in the ocean. Makes sense.
Oh, does it?
Yeah.
That does make sense. Why don't we put them in the ocean?
Yeah,
People don't want to commute from the
Gulf
ocean.
of America is right there. That's why we named it that. We own that. So let's put them in the Gulf of America right there. You know?
Sure. I'm for that. We have a bunch of
not
offshore.
not in the place that just has one aquifer, and we have limited water resources.
Yeah.
But they keep popping up.
Yeah. No, I get you. If we could put them in the ocean, that makes the most sense. I don't know why we're not.
Yeah,
doing that.
China's doing it. Like I said, they're ahead of us. So
for the future, I got kids. I want my kids to be able to feed themselves and work. And you and I, when we were having dinner, I was saying a nurse is a job that AI is not going to take away. And then you were talking about this AI hospital in China.
yeah,
But the AI hospital in China, they don't have nurses like administering IVs. It's a system. Well, when it first came out, it was AI doctors treating AI patients. It had no humans involved at all. It was just teaching itself. And now they've added like human doctors and human patients, but they just use the AIs as like a consult. Like if a regular doctor calls the infectious disease doctor, but instead you talk to the AI infectious disease doctor instead of the real dude.
Yeah, it's more like I read that it has apps. So you have an app you download to your phone, and you can talk to the doctor. Like we have that now here.
Sure,
you can talk to a virtual doctor here.
And I did see one video where like they had a robot arm that could draw blood, but it was like not in mass use and fuck.
Yeah, but it's coming.
You get to like a jerky person, and fucking that needle's gonna go everywhere. I still think a hands-on profession like a nurse, things of that nature is not going to be replaced by AI anytime soon. But I could be wrong.
Yeah, that lady that I talked about, I'll give her name later. She talked about that. That's the goal of this system is to replace humans
Completely.
Yeah, completely.
So we're just not going to exist anymore, and it's just going to be AI. They're going to exterminate us.
That's the dark side of this path.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not saying that's what it is. I mean, nobody knows what the future is, but that's one of the things that these AI researchers are saying. They're whistleblowing about that it's not going in the right direction.
Yeah.
But I mean, the only constant is change.
Sure.
So
everything always changes.
It will change, and usually it's something that we never thought about.
Yeah. I don't think humans are going to be put. I mean, there's a lot of jobs that will be put out of work. I believe the trucking industry is going to be put out of work with these autonomous vehicles, just because they're more efficient than a human driver and they don't need to sleep. But I think the jobs will just change. Like the Luddites in ancient England, when they brought the cotton mills and the wool mills, they rose up and they thought those were going to take over all the human jobs. They would sit there and burn them down because they were freaking out. And I think AI will be an app on your phone or eventually implanted into your brain. And it's not going to be something that's going take us out. I don't even think it'll ever have the ability to achieve consciousness. Not in the way.
Yeah,
that
a lot
we
of people
believe
believe it won't reach that stage.
Yeah.
But that's what they're fighting for right now.
Yeah.
But on that note, I mean, at this point, we're still fighting for jobs out here.
Oh yeah.
I mean, jobs aren't just
Even
for the
without
taking.
AI.
Even
Yeah.
without AI, we're still fighting for jobs. We have to interview and try to get a job. There's a lot of people out there that are unemployed that are
Sure.
qualified to work.
Sure.
They just can't find a job. So, I mean, we're already in that state where just because you know how to do something and have the background qualifications to do that job, you're not automatically going to get that job.
Sure.
So if you put anything else in that equation,
Already strained system. Yeah.
you're gonna, yeah.
I get you. Oh man, that's a positive note to end on. Did you have any closing statements that you want to close on?
Well, the only thing positive is that we don't know where we're headed. Hopefully, it's a good positive. But usually, when we have technology, us humans, we use it for the opposite of being
good?
better. Yeah.
Instead of making energy with atomic energy, we make nuclear bombs with atomic energy.
Exactly. Like, so it's like, but the only thing I can say is you have to have faith in something. So you have to latch on to that, because we're going to go into an age of where it's going to try to take you away from that.
Amen.
So
I agree
latch
with that
on to what you
100%.
have, because you're going to need it in the future, for sure.
Faith.
I'm already scared.
Hold the faith. God is good. God is still on the throne. Praise Jesus. All right.
Exactly. Amen.
Amen. All right. We'll be back. Maybe we'll do it in a week or two, and we'll have another interesting topic. But today was AI. Let us know in the comments if there's anything else you'd like us to talk about. Hold the faith. God bless.